What is up, y'all? And welcome to another Thursday night live Q&A with my peeps. What is up, guys? Everybody is strolling in. Everybody make sure and let me know. I usually have my Google Chrome pulled up for the chat, but I believe that is a big reason why I get a lot of buffering. What are you doing, Dozer? Oh, I don't even have my mic over here. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Alright. So I'm doing a different web browser tonight instead of Google Chrome because it uses so much CPU. So thought I would try this and see how this works, and we'll go from there. And I brought Dozer in here for the first time in a couple of weeks or so. There was one stream last week where I could hear him out there running around, and I got out there and him and Mia were just running around playing out there. It's like, gosh. Alright. So tonight, second installment of Thursday night, we're going to go ahead and turn this night into a Q&A. I just like that. Kind of gives us something to talk about while we're doing everything else. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the chat, and anybody thinks of any stupid questions, good questions, don't worry, ask away, and we'll do our best to answer them. We'll do our best to answer them. Alright, let's go over here and scroll way up. It'd take me like a half hour to get through this. Mob Guppy's in the house. What is up, Peter? Nice to see you. Reels Tanks. Then we got Daryl Deemer, 54 Punchy, and it's a Thursday night, and she made it. Well, welcome to the live stream, Pam. Nice to see ya. It's colder than a well digger's butt here, 25 and dropping. It didn't get over 35, I don't believe, today here, and the wind's really cold. So I feel ya. My summer tubs are taking a hit right now. Ay, ay, ay. Daryl Deemer says that they're going to get some snow tonight in central Illinois, 1 to 1.5 inches. I think we're supposed to get some snow tomorrow night here in Iowa, I think. Low of 40 in Cali. Reels. Must be rough, man. Let's see here. Tampa Tom is in the house. What is up, Tampa Tom? His high today was the opposite of mine, 83. I think mine was like 35 or 38, somewhere around in here. Let's see here. I thought we were going at 7 Central tonight. It's okay because I get to spend time with you fine people. My Thursday night is at 8 Central. Yeah. So Monday nights is 8 Central. Thursday night, 8 Central. And then Saturday nights are 7. Adrian Castillo's in the house. What is up, man? Do it for the fans. I didn't even see that one earlier. Valley Fish is in the house, and by the way, those little plecos that I'm growing out for you, I would say in the next week or two, they could be ready to go. Right after I put them in there, they started going crazy, so they're really close to like 1 inch long. So reach out to me and let me know if you've got a spot for them, and I'll start thinking about getting them ready for you in the next couple weeks. Angelo's Fish Tanks. Hi, all. Just dropping in to say hi. Sorry I'm not going to make the stream. Everyone have a great one. Much love. Much love to you too, man. Ken Amy is in the house. What is up, Ken? Anybody got anything good going on tonight? Nope. I'm glad that tomorrow's Friday, though. I was supposed to have an office day tomorrow. Today turned into an office day, but I didn't get everything done that I really needed to do, so I've got a lot to do tomorrow for work-wise. I've got deliveries to make. There's one thing that I got done right before I started that might save me a trip to Des Moines, but I've got this thing called a pressure mapper, and the chair that I'm delivering tomorrow, I really need to have a pressure mapper. And the pressure mapper that I've got the tablet wasn't working, and I spent a lot of today working on it, and I found a YouTube video that shows like a trick. You got to go in, you got to break into it, unhook the battery, and then hold the power button down for like 20 seconds, and that kills any of the battery that's in the circuit board or anything. And then you hook the battery back up and turn it on. And the first time I tried that today, it didn't work, but I think it's because it wasn't really completely charged up, so it's just acting funky. It wouldn't turn on, and I think I've got it going now. So I got it to turn on, and it's charging right now. So by tomorrow morning, if we're full, I don't have to go to Des Moines, and that gives me more office time because I don't have to deliver the chair till 2. But what a pressure mapper is, it's this, well, hang on a second. This little pad right here, and you set it on top of a seat cushion, and then you hook this wire into a laptop or a, you know, an iPad or something like that, and it gives you a visual of all the pressure spots on someone's rear end. I'm a seating specialist, and there's different things that you can do to lessen the pressure under the rear end, and people that get sores really easy and stuff, it's really important that they're setting good. And yeah, like, you guys really care. You're like, talk some fish, man. All right, Turbo Fish is in the house. What is up, Jeff? Nice to see you, buddy. Ken Amy says, anybody else hate the fact that the iPhone app doesn't auto-compilate people's names? What a pain. Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't like about it, especially when you have some of the older phones. What's up, Dozer? What's up, Dozer? What's up back there? You looking at the sword tails? Making friends? On the older phones, it's almost like the updates don't work. It's like they're trying to tell you to get a new phone or something. I hate that about it. Kind of stinks. Adrian says, anyone here in Minneapolis? I'd like to know that too. My roommate actually lives in Tonka. Cool. Everything Aqua 7 is here. What is up, Everything Aqua? Let's see, who else is here? Turbofish says, yeah, I got a few questions. Why are waffles called waffles? I think it has to do with the voids. That's called waffling. Like the plecos that I got the other day. They've got a waffle pattern on them. When will my turbo hit PSI? Probably before you leave first gear, I would say. How come cows moo? Because they can't talk. David Gilkison is in the house. What is up, David? Nice to see you, buddy. Everything Aqua 7 says, I like that name, Turbo Fish. Yep. I did a live stream from his house the other night. He lives in Illinois. And I think it was Gone Mad grabbed a turbo from in there somewhere and brought it up. There was actual turbo there. Tampa Tom says, Jeffro, if you could be a fish, what fish would you be and why? Well, I'd have to probably be some type of apex predator fish. And of that, you know, whatever, wherever I would be living. So if it was in a stream, a pond, you know, if I was in a farm pond, I would want to probably be a bass, because I'm at the top of the food chain, and that's the only reason why I eat or get eaten in the wild, you know. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Joel G is in the house. Hello. What is up, Joel? I like fish, I like turbos, and I'm not real bright, so boom. Oh, gosh. Alright. Let's get down here a little ways. Magic 21 Mom is in the house. What is up, Magic 21 Mom? To me, I started reading that Magic Mom 21. That has a little bit more of a flow to it, but Magic 21 Mom it is. Can't change history. 40% of bear aquariums this weekend, Turbo. Might have to go get me a 29. Well, I know I'm setting up 320 longs this weekend. They've been empty now for, gosh, 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks ago is when I bought them. And I have to set up one for sure. So I've got everything to for sure set up one and get the other ones at least cycling and going. Real Thing for You says, who was the first person to smoke weed? I really haven't ever studied that. I don't know. I'd kind of like to know if you know. I really don't know. Jeez, 30 psi. Brandon from Mr. B's Fish and Things is here. What is up, Brandon? He had a really interesting video this week. He lost power, and he kind of made a video about it, and it's really nice how he goes through all the steps that he went through. I believe his power was off from like 12 or 14 hours, something like that. But he gives some really great tips on what to do, and I've often, you know, like I've said in the streams before, knock on wood, I've lived in this house for 18 years, and I went without power, I can count on one hand in that 18 years, and it's never been over an hour, knock on wood. And so I have 36 aquariums going. It was really kind of a, you know, first thing he talks about is don't panic and different things like that, but I'll not give the rest of it away if you guys want to go check it out. But I thought he brought up some really good points on there, so go check that out. But welcome to the live stream, Brandon. Nice to see you. That's like 2 atmospheres. I was at 28 when she blew up. In first gear, probably. Mile High Plecos is in the house. What is up, Mikey? Nice to see you. I've been sitting here itching. I don't know if you was on the live stream the other night when me and you, maybe it was me, you and Candy, were talking about it. We were talking about April to come out. We need to get serious about that and get it set, because now I'm really jealous. I found out on Dan's Fish live stream last night, cough cough, that he came and seen you the other day, and I was like, dang, it would have been nice to have saw some Instagram photos or something. Pete Berlinski's in the house. What's up, Fish Peeps? And Jeffroz. What is up, Pete? Nice to see you, buddy. Lobes and Fishes is here. What is up, Lobes? The JQ channel is here. Nice to see you, buddy. David Gilkinson says looking good. Hi, Santa. Oh, I am way behind because I think I saw that one earlier. Jeremy Fryer is in the house. What is up, Jeremy? Nice to see you. When it's done being built, I'll post it. Nice. Tampa Tom saying hi to Dozer. What's up, Dozer? You licking your paws? What are you doing? What are you doing? His eyes are all bloodshot. I think he's tired. Tampa Tom says hi, Dozer. Tampa Tom saying hi. Don't lick that wood. No, 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 no. You don't lick that wood. It's got pesticides in it. Dank Tanks is in the house. What is up, Dank? Nice to see you, buddy. Hopefully that enclosure that you're working on right now goes good for you. Yeah, I am way behind in the chat because I asked about the sound and audio and picture earlier. Dozer seems pretty funny. Yeah, Dozer's a good boy. He's just August he turned 5, and he's always been chill ever since a puppy. I mean, he wouldn't even chase balls, tennis balls, or anything. And Mia, my Chihuahua, she would whenever we first got her. But after we got Dozer, it's like she turned into chill too. See if I can get Mia to come in here, because some of you guys may have never even seen her before. Mia, you come here and see me? Come here, Mia. Come here, little girl. Mia, come on. Mia! I don't even know. She might be in... No, come on. Come on, Mia. They want to see you. She's just sitting on the couch out there just staring at me. Okay, so my oldest is 24. It wasn't like it was her dog, but Mia is one of those snuggle, cuddle dogs. She would be a perfect therapy dog. And then when my oldest moved out, then my 21-year-old daughter, it became her dog, her snuggle dog. And then when she moved out, it became Austin, my 17-year-old son's cuddle dog. And then now, Ashton is almost 13. Now she's pretty much Ashton's. But today she got plenty of love because my 21-year-old daughter came over for a little bit and visited, so. She doesn't spend a lot of time. You want to come here and see me, Mia? You're making me look stupid on the internet. Get in here! She just sitting there looking at me like, I ain't coming in there, buddy. Dozer's in there. I ain't going in there. What's the matter, doggy? Looks good enough to watch, Jeffro. Awesome. Learning to fish keep is in the house. What is up? Learning to fish keep. Loaves and Fishes says my pit bull service dog turned 5 in May. Yeah, they're great dogs. Dozer is a mix. I did see his mom whenever I picked him up. I actually got him given to me from one of my patients years ago. She's long gone now, but Dozer's dad's name was Tank, and he was a white pit bull, and he was full-blooded. But Mom was like a pit bull mix. So Dozer's like some type of pit bull mix that I don't know, but yeah, he's a really, really good, gentle dog. Always has been, just chill as can be. I could take him anywhere as long as there ain't any other male dogs. There was one year at the dog park, Dozer had always got along with other dogs. It didn't matter. But there was this young dog that came just chesting up to him and started attacking Dozer, and ever since then Dozer's had like an anxiety towards other dogs. So it kind of stinks because you got to watch it when you have a pit bull. Everybody always blames it on you, so I try to keep him away. Like whenever we go to the dog park, it's either early in the morning or late at night, or you're not really supposed to go to it in the wintertime, but I take him down there in the wintertime a lot because no one's there. I think the rules are it's closed in the wintertime, but I still take him there. Starting a fire because my house is cold and that's my only source of heat. Dang, it's been chilly enough. My furnaces ran probably for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I would say, somewhere out in there. I wish I had a fireplace too, Pam. Sergeant Tank is in the house. What is up, Jeremy? My dog is looking at me now, shaking her. Her name is Mia. Oh, yep, yep. She's probably wondering what the heck is Jeffro calling for me for. Jason from Fish Tropic is in the house. What is up, man? Otter Creek Aquatics asks a great question. I love this. What's your favorite size tank and why? Well, right now it's one that I own, and I'll explain why. I like the 40-gallon longs. I like the 40-gallon breeder. I like the 75-gallon. 33 longs and 20 longs. But right now my favorite is this 50-gallon lowboy. And the biggest reason why I like all of those tanks is a lot of them have more floor surface than they do height and width and all that kind of stuff, because I keep a lot of plecos and shrimp. I have plecos and shrimp in just about all of my tanks, and this 50-gallon lowboy has so much of a floor space that these plecos are growing quick in it. I put some babies in there a few weeks back, maybe a month ago now, and like they're growing out really fast. So I like that. You know, if I would have had them all in like a little 10-gallon tank or something, they would still be really tiny. And now they're getting some size on them. Yeah. So the 50-gallon lowboy tank is my favorite because of the footprint. I love that big floor, you know. Mary RNH2O is in the house, and she says it's a whopping 54 degrees there. Well, that's bikini weather, Mary. That's beach weather. Wow. I missed a bunch. Devin Peppers asked a good question. Do you feed your plecos French cut green beans? Yes, I do. I get the cheap ones from my dollar store. They've even sometimes you have to get, you know, they're out of the ones that have the pop top, but most of the time they have the ones with the pop top. This week when I bought the flat, they did, but yeah, that's what I feed them when I feed them green beans. Real Thing for You says people discovered the intoxicating effects of cannabis by making fires in caves and teepee and becoming overwhelmed by the smoke. I think I have heard that before. Let's see here. Pam from 54 Punchy says my German Shepherd's name is Buddy. Everyone says hi, Buddy, when they see him, so he thinks everyone loves him. That's a good one, Pam. Mike from MHow9 is in the house. What is up, Mike? Caught your live stream on replay the other night. I missed it live. I had a band concert that night to go to. My little 13-year-old had a band concert, but I thought you did really good, man. You're good in front of the camera, so good luck with that, man. And nice to see you here tonight. Update on the fish, Jeffy. Which fish, Jason? Which fish are you talking about, buddy? I am surrounded by a lot of them. Let's see here. Blues Underground is in the house. Good evening. What is up, Blues Underground? My girl is super chill. Her name is Maya, I think is how you pronounce that. Sweet. Yep. I mean, Dozer's always been that way. I didn't like it when he was a puppy because, I mean, he wouldn't do any of the puppy things. Now, there has been times whenever he didn't think I was around. Well, like for instance, I always shut him up in the kennel at nighttime because Mia, when we first got her, we got her from somewhere that I'm pretty sure fed her food scraps because it took me forever to get her onto a balanced diet of dog food. But she would also get into the trash. So when they were pups, we started shutting the kennel door at nighttime when they go to bed. Because if you didn't, you'd wake up the next morning and the trash would be everywhere. She would wake up in the middle of the night and go through the trash. So during the day, whenever I go to work, I shut the kennel. And, you know, I work from home a lot, so that doesn't happen all that often. But at night, whenever we go to bed, I do too. And there was one time, well, there's been more than one time, but one time I vividly remember waking up on a work night at 3 in the morning, and I turn on the living room light, and they're just running around like they're little puppies, you know. I'm like, what in the heck are you doing? They were chasing each other around in the living room. I'm like, gosh, do you guys know what time it is? Ugh. Jeremy says, my yellow lab's like that until strangers come around and he wants to eat them. Yeah, Dozer growls at my ex-wife. My ex-mother-in-law hasn't been over in a long time, but he did growl at her one time. My ex-wife's grandma, he growled at her. And then my son had a friend that we thought for a while it was because he's black, But we thought for a while it's because Dozer's eyesight isn't very good, and then after so long he got chill with Darian. But it's probably because now Dozer knows his smell and he's cool with him and everything. But I think it's because Dozer couldn't actually see his face, you know, because Dozer is like kind of, I would consider Dozer kind of legally blind. When I brought him home, I was like waving my hand in front of his face and stuff because he was just doing this blank stare thing, like he couldn't see. And like whenever it's dusk outside, he like barks at the wind. You know, he like hears something rustle and he's barking at it. So I think Dozer doesn't have very good eyesight. So, you know, and then there was one friend that kind of startled him one time in the backyard and he barked and growled at him, but other than that, hasn't ever really over humans. When you've got teenagers in the house, though, there's a lot of people in and out all the time, you know. Turbo fish. My girl is not super chill. Her name is Wife. Real thing for you says my fish went nuts for Ken's veggie wafers. Awesome. You need 3-stack rack for 3 of those bad boys. Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking about that the other day because when I went to Pleco Paradise, they had a lot of low boys. Theirs wasn't the same platform as mine. Theirs were like not as tall. But I didn't really pay attention. I was too busy gawking at all the Plecos, you know. I was just in Pleco heaven, basically. Pleco Paradise, yeah, that's what it was. And I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, you know, I will get some more of those in the future because I am pretty heavy Plecos. So I will definitely get some more of those, especially for like growing them out. Because one thing about it is, like, let's say I did get my L182s to go someday and my L183s and then this new Pleco that I got the other day. If I do get them going someday, it'd be nice to have their own grow out tanks and grow them out, because there's nothing worse than waiting and waiting and waiting to be able to sell some because they're growing out, and sometimes they can take a while to grow out. But man, in this tank, they're growing out quicker. I could always do it in tubs too, you know, like my summer tubs. I could always get some more of those and grow them out in those too. They make those in all kinds of platforms too, you know. They make them shallow, you know, so I could get some of those. Kind of like Rob from Flip Aquatics had in his shrimp room that one time. You know, I think they were 40 gallons or something like that. Those would be good. I would like to have a 3-stack rack of the low boys though, Jason. That'd be cool. OG's Fish Room is in the house. What is up, man? Melvin's Aquatic Empire is in the house. The Loach guy. What is up, guys? Mikey says, I consider Dozer legally fat AF. LOL. Guppy Puppies is in the house. What is up, Guppy Puppies? Susan for SLC Aquatics is in the house. C. Bosley. What's up, guys? Tank Mates is here. What is up, Tank Mates? I feed mine whole moose calves for the win. For the win. Let's see here. Do you feed your Plecos beef jerky? Never have, man. Never have. Beef jerky would probably be way too salty, I would say. Thick with 2 C's. Alright. My chat had went nutsos. I've been buying all my fish food from Angels Plus. They have crazy food prices for the amount of food you get. Well, that's a good idea, man. I like getting it for cheap. Now that I've got so many Plecos, I mean, I've got tons of Plecos now. I'm going through food a lot quicker, especially since these babies have got to where they're eating so much. Let's see here. Okay. I feed mine whole moose cow. Okay, I already read that one. Otter Creek Aquatic says you need to build a huge swim pond that your pups can swim in. Yeah, they would love that. Dozer isn't the most watery type of dog. Neither is Mia, really. But in the summertime, I guarantee you they would definitely get into the pond. Getting my hardscape for a 10-gallon organized. Awesome. I got bit by a dog on my birthday. Oh no. That's crazy, Joel. Hopefully you don't get rabies, man, because a rabied Joel G would be nuts. Jeremy says, my 2-year-old yellow lab's name is Trapper. Cool. He does not have a problem with dogs, male or female. His problem is with people. I live on 20 acres. If somebody shows up to my house, he is ready to protect me. Yep. That's not a bad thing, though. Hey, what are you doing? Lay down. Good boy. This thing needs some help. Lay down. Good boy. When I say good boy, then he thinks that he can do things. Like, when you tell him good boy for doing something that you told him to, you know, I'm trying to keep him, there's some fish food back there, and he's sniffing around. I don't know if it was him or Mia, that one of them got into it this weekend, and it kind of aggravated me, but it's not their fault. My son evidently came into my bedroom and didn't shut the door and didn't keep an eye on them. I don't like them in here by themselves, but yeah. Pete Berlinski says, put cycled media in my 2 new planted tanks, but they are still cycling 2 weeks later, badly itching to stock them. I know, right? This 40-gallon breeder over here, I think I cycled that tank for, I think it was 4 months before I put anything in there, and I put plecos in there first, and then it was still like another month or so before I put fish in it. And it wasn't necessarily because I waited that way on purpose. I was looking for a certain Endler to put in there, and it just took me a while to find them. Yeah, Pam says, patience, Pete, patience. Honeybee Axolotus Aquatics is in the house. What is up, Honeybee? Nice to see ya. Let's see here. He's gonna catch up. Couldn't sleep and thought, yay, Jeffroz is on. Bonus. Yeah, I like those nights. 30 minutes in and he's still saying hi to everyone. Well, no one's asking any questions, Mike. It's the Thursday night Q&A, Mikey. Ask me a question that isn't, hey, Santa Claus. Yo, Santa, what's up? Dozer's fat. I read those 2 comments. What a lose. Haha. Hopefully you're not trying to spell loser. Loaves and Fishes has a question. How long should I leave leftover algae water in the tank? Leftover algae water. Leftover algae water. So are you talking, I'm going to have a follow-up to this one. So are you talking like, I don't understand your question, man. I'm a little thick sometimes. So hit me with it and spell it out a little bit for me. I'm sorry, I'm not getting that. What part of the world are you in? Oh, Honeybee. Yeah, she's over in the UK, I believe. Jeffro, what fish would you recommend with shrimp and bristlenose plecos? I love guppies, but want something rarer and more exotic that can live with shrimp and pleco babies because I plan on breeding. Rarer and more exotic. Well, there's some pretty rare and exotic guppies, and that's pretty much like live bears, Because you get into the cichlids, and a lot of those are like nippy and will just gobble up shrimp, even adults. So you got to think of it this way. Think of how small a shrimp gets when it's full grown, and think of how big the mouth of the fish that you're putting in there. Because these fish will eat shrimp. So guppies can eat shrimp, and a lot of livebearers could eat shrimp. I probably wouldn't be able to put shrimp in with my swordtails. My female swordtail is huge. I mean, there was one time I put some baby albino bristlenose right after they got released from their sacks, and I just dumped them straight in there, and my big female was going like this and just nipping them out of the water as they went to the bottom, and I'm like, geez, only like 10 out of 30 made it. She filled up on them. So what you have to do is you have to think of the mouth of the fish that you're buying. Is it big enough to fit a full-grown buried shrimp in it? If it is, you can't have that fish. So you're gonna have to, if you want to do the combination that you're looking at, bristlenose plecos, shrimp, and fish, you're gonna have a fish that, if you put some rock piles in there, won't eat your shrimplets. Like the guppies can't really fit a full buried female in their mouth, but a stinking like clown loach probably could. You know, clown loach or tiger barbs, or tiger barbs' mouths aren't very big, but I wouldn't recommend it. But there's some exotic rare guppies out there, and endlers. There's tons of different types of endlers too, and swordtails. There's some beautiful swordtails out there, but like I said, some of the swordtails are wicked, man. I got treated for rabies last time I went to the vet. Good. Oh, you got treated for rabies? Oh, I'm pretty sure the treatment for rabies, maybe you got a rabies shot, but yeah, the rabies shots and everything, like, that's extensive. I think it's multiple things, if I remember right. Pam said, I'm not sure what my spirit animal is, but pretty sure it has rabies. Oh, man. Fish Tropic says, no water change, Jeff? That's Monday nights, Jason. The Monday night live stream is my water changes, and Thursday night's Q&A, and then Saturday night is Hangout. Terry's Tropical Tank says, oh damn, Jeff or KG have both playing at the same time. Oh well, man, just bounce back and forth. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Guppy puppies, awesome. Oh, wafer disc. Okay, so how long, let's go back to your original question, if I can find it. How long should I leave wafer disc in the water? If they haven't ate on it, a rule of thumb, if you have food of any kind in the tank and they haven't ate it after 24 hours, try to get it out. And if it's like a wafer, it's gonna disintegrate when you try to grab it. So maybe you could use a shrimp net and kind of just scoop at it and let it get up into the water column and then get it. Or if that doesn't work, like a turkey baster, that's how I've been culling shrimp here lately, is I get a turkey baster and I squeeze it and I stick it down in the water and I get that nose right down there to it, and then I go like this and it just sucks that shrimp right up in there, and then I turn it over and I take it to the coal tank and then squirt it right in. Turkey baster works pretty good, and I get a lot of my leftover shrimp food and stuff like that out. So that's what I would recommend. Don't let food stay for over 24 hours. Like Lucas had a really good video on that not too long ago, and he says that there's a mold that grows on food after 24 hours, and when the fish eat that mold, it can kill them. Like, he's lost fish because of that before. He's really picky about not overfeeding and not leaving leftover food in the tank. I feed in every one of my tanks. I hardly ever have any leftover food, except for like really understocked tanks, like my crystal shrimp tank. I've been having to get the leftover food out, but I just put one little bitty pellet of something in there, and they may have not had it, but it's heavily planted. It's got a lot of wood and leaves in it, so they're probably just not very hungry, but they're eating the food that I put in there. Keith Boardley's in the house. Hello, a little late, but I made it. Better late than never, buddy. Nice to see ya. I tell my wife good girl and she gets all excited too. Yep, I bet you do. And then she probably slaps you. That's the type of excitement that you're talking about. She slaps you. Magic 21 Mom says, speaking of salt, do you buy the salt-free green beans for plecos? That's not really necessary. You can rinse the salt off. The salt is basically in the juices that the green beans are packed in. 9 times out of 10, I don't even do that. It depends on how big of a hurry I'm in. But what I do is I drain them. So like I'll pop part of the top open, then I just turn it over in my sink and do that on both the cans, and then leave and go about my business. And then I come back and then I put like a paper towel down on a paper plate, and then I dump them both into that. And by the time I'm grabbing them, they're kind of dry, but they would still have a salty residue on them. So really, technically, you're supposed to rinse all that salty residue off of them. But I don't ever buy the salt-free green beans at all. You could if you wanted to, but somehow I'm thinking that would probably be more expensive, probably. Candy Overalls is in the house. I'll be sure to tell her you said so, Trevor. Yeah, right. Tell her that. Let's see here. David Gilkison said, question, can pea puffers live in a 29 with multis? I've never kept pea puffers before, and I've never kept multis, but to me, and if somebody has kept pea puffers in here, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to make a recommendation here, but I'm trying to sit here and dissect this, because I think that with multis you can keep like a mid to high water fish with them, and pea puffers are a peaceful type of fish. I've heard people talk about how they're a great community fish, so they're great to keep with others. And I think that they're a mid-water fish, but really kind of research it. Find out what part of the water column they stay in mostly. If they're a mid-water fish, I think the multis like to stay down around the shell lower area of the tank, but they would probably be protective of their shells. So that's the one thing that you need to research. Research both of them. But great question. I've just never kept either one. I've been searching, and basically what I'm doing is I've got a shell dwelling tank set up. So I'm looking for like Neolamprologus multis, or like the Neo Similus, I think it was. Those are nice. Those look a lot like a multi, but they're a little bit bigger, and the stripes go on their head too. And then HC Aqua was like, get a hold of some of the Sumbas, I think is how you pronounce them. Sumba. And those are really nice. The males color up really, really nice. So I've been looking for those. If I can get a hold of some of those, I might get the Sumbas. But HC Aqua, Jesse recommended those to me, and I looked those up, and wow, I fell in love with those right away. The multis are nice. They're cute. They're smaller. I think it would be great because it's my first go at it. But then I looked up the Sumbas, and I'm like, whoa, those are nice. All right. Dwarf Rainbow. Carbon really is in the house. What is up, Carbon? Vinoxky Tank is in the house. What is up, man? Let's see here. Jeremy says, I have a question. I bought some Amazon swords from my local pet store, and I brought them home, cleaned them up, put them in my tank 2 to 3 Put them in my tank too. Okay, I have a question. I bought some Amazon swords from my local pet store, and I brought them home to clean them up. Put them in my tank 2 to 3 weeks. Clean them up, put them in my tank 2 to 3 weeks. Having troubles deciphering what the question is here, but I'll tell you what I do on mine. Like inspect, it's really hard because like there's some dips that you can do because you don't want to get some pest snails. That's basically what you're looking for, because you don't really run too much of a risk picking up, you know, bacterial infections. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of crazy stuff out there, but what I'm really quarantining, that didn't sound right for some reason. The whole reason why I'm QTing plants is to make sure I'm not getting any pest snails. There are some dips. I did have a dip over there that I could have showed you, but think of, you know, do a little bit of research and maybe find a dip or something like that, and you can dip the plants by the recommendation on the bottle, and then you can put them right in. But yeah, you've got to look over the roots, because I mean there's all kinds of things. There's what's that one thing that sucks blood? Leeches. There's leeches, you know, there's pest snails, which I have never ever bought a snail. Now when I went to Jeremy's, I picked up some assassin snails, but right now I've got Malaysian trumpet, I've got pond snails, bladder snails, whatever you want to call them, and I've got ram's horn snails, and I didn't buy any of those. None of them. They all came on plants. And the biggest pest to me out of all of those is that bladder snail. I hate those things. It's like every time I try to video a tank, it's like there's a ton of them right there. It's like, urgh, aggravating. Mile High Pleco says, my guppies will kill shrimp for fun. FYI. He threw in the FYI at the end. Yeah, I'm sure they can, Mikey. Plecos are cooler. Definitely. I think the pea puffers would go after the babies. I don't think that would work. Good thinking, Pam. My peas are vicious. They can't have tank mates. Okay. That's good to know. I can't even remember who it was, and it was recently that I seen someone talking about how they would be good tank mates. Jeff says, I just opened the can of green beans and fork out each feeding and cover the can with small bowl and keep in the fridge. Well, I started keeping mine in the fridge before I open them, because whenever I went to Jeremy's, he was talking about how it helps them last longer or something like that, and then helps them sink better, quicker. But I don't have any leftovers. For the longest time I was one can. You know, I could feed all my tanks with one can, and now it's 2, sometimes 3. I really should be doing 3, because the other night I felt like I was skimping a couple of tanks. The Loach guy says, I'm setting up a 20 long for my blue eye and citrus babies to grow out in. Got about 3 different hatchings to raise up. Awesome. That is good to hear, buddy. I've never had the blue eyes before. 28 cents a can at Walmart. I don't think they are at mine. They might be. Let's see here. Dave's Rare Aquarium Fish will have the fish you want from time to time. Okay. Thanks, Terry. Dave's Rare Aquarium Fish. I'll have to look that up. D from Down the Wormhole is in the house. What is up, D? Keith Boardley says, is a 40 breeder too small for adult turquoise rainbows? I would think it would be too short. I've never kept any rainbows. I would love to keep rainbows, but to me, whenever I see rainbows on all the different stuff that I've looked at, they like length, you know. They swim back and forth in the tank, you know, and they're going all over the place. So I would think on a 40-gallon breeder, it wouldn't be the best in the world for rainbows. That's just my guesstimation. Mary says, yes, there is. I know of one, Atlanta Aquarium Association, first Sunday of each month, and one in Marietta, website atlantaaquarium.com. There went the chat. Boom. Oh no, the bottom of the chat. The old school dip is using alum. It works better than most of the stuff you can buy. Yep, I have heard that before too. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's pretty much like aluminum water, I think. Swag Skywalker says MTS are the plague. I do have a couple of tanks that are plagued by it, but then I've got a couple of tanks that have the right amount of them in there too. But like this breeding for profit tank is chucked full of them, just completely chucked full. They're everywhere. Let's see here. Frankie Foundation is in the house. Yo, Jeffro, what is up, Frankie? Nice to see you, buddy. Honeybee says, my shrimp keep producing lots of eggs, then I never see the babies due to the plecos. It has to be them, as only bristlenose in that tank. Not too worried, as only have glass shrimp in there. Well, I was going to say, if you're worried about it and you want to change that, I put piles of rocks in my tanks. And some of my tanks, I don't ever see the babies until they're already kind of juvenile a little bit. Some of the tanks I see the babies when they're brand new, and it's like, dang, them things are small, you know. But what happens is those buried females turn that rock pile, you know, like some of my tanks I've got lava rock in them, and I just put a great big pile at the back of the tank, and they turn it into like their colony. And those females crawl down in between all them rocks, and they lay their eggs in there, and there's a bunch of food that is fell down in there, and mold and different things like that, and those babies can live off of it forever. So that's how you do a tank and keep your shrimp going. So you may have already known that, but I seen, can you order Deacon's Fish Tank says, can you order specific fish from Fins and Things? I have done it all kinds of times. Basically, just go to his Facebook messenger and send him a Facebook message, and you know, if you've got a fish that you're looking for, copy a picture to it, and he'll look for one, is what he'll do. He has a stock list every week, and then also you can send me a message too, because I know a lot of people out there in the hobby that that ship, and I could get someone to look for stuff for you too, Deacon. So if you have an Instagram, send me a direct message on Instagram, and I can maybe find you something too. I hate bladder snails. Yep. Bladder snails stink. Jeff Chambers says rainbows are best in a 4-foot tank, or pseudomugals are good in smaller. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Oh, okay. Punchy says glass shrimp possibly need brackish water to hatch eggs. Not sure, but that could be why. I have heard that before. Good catch, Pam. How many tanks do you have, Jeffro? I counted up the other night. I think 36, and then I'm setting up 320 longs this weekend, so that will be up to 39. But that's counting my 2 summer ponds that I've still got on the back porch that still have fish in them, and it's 30 something degrees out. I've got heaters in them. Valley Fish said, Jeffro, would an albino female also be available? I'm stuck with 6 males, hard to get fry. Do you have short fin or long fin? Because I've got a really nice short fin female adult that's like breeder age. I could send her to you as well. Like we could just trade plants for plecos, you know. But yeah, definitely, because I've got 3 females in here, and I know that all 3 of them are breeding age. So if it's a short fin, I can help you out for sure. And then in this little 30-gallon tank down here, I've got a bunch that are like this long, but I've got a female over here that I can hook you up with for sure. Okay, Jeremy says, what I was trying to say with the sword plant, I got a bunch of snails off of them and they're producing like crazy. What can I do? You got a bunch of snails off the sword plant? I was trying to say the sword plant, I got a bunch of snails off of them and they're producing like crazy. What can I do? Oh yeah. Dog dewormer, I'm pretty sure gets rid of snails, but you got to think of all the stuff that you've got in the tank. If you've got shrimp in there, I'm pretty certain that you can't. But then I've heard contradictory reports to it. But without lay down. Without gosh, what was I trying to say? Dog dewormer kills snails. If you have other things in the tank that dog dewormer is going to hurt, then you've got to do manual removal. Dozer, quit being nosy. Lay down. I can see you up here. Honeybee says loads of shrimp, caves, etc. Think they get them when they are out for food. May just move them. Then you might want to check into that too, Honeybee, because I think I have heard what Pam was saying about brackish water. I'm pretty sure. Maple Street Aquatics is in the house. What's up, buddy? Oddball Aquatics is here. Lay down. Sure wish I knew what he was trying to sniff out. It's like before you know it, he'll have it. Rack from River Life is in the house. What is up, Rack? Who else did I miss? Deacon's Fish Room is here. Or fish tanks, sorry. What is your favorite fish species? Boy, that is a tough one. Well, I'm really heavy into livebearers. I've got like 5 different types of endlers, and then I've got a few different types of guppies, and then I've got some swordtails, and then I got a bunch of platies. But I seen a swordtail this weekend that was black, and it had like yellowish orange eyes with like a black pupil. Those things were beast. I really like a good swordtail. That question is always tough though, because I love so many different fish, and then there's also every once in a while, if money wasn't an option, you know, what fish would you get? You know. Bam Aquatics is in the house. What is up, Bam? Science Gal Aquatics is in the house. What is up, Science Gal? Make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Let's see here. All right, got that one already. Bam Aquatic says, I am close to 300 subs myself. I checked earlier, and I think I was at 1492. Whenever you get over 1,000, I've found that every time you get close to another 100, it like bounces up and then it bounces down. So like whenever I was getting ready to be at 1,400, I was stuck at 1375 for like 13 days. It would go up and then it would go right back down to 1375. And I think the other day I was up at 1494, and then today I was at 1491, and then 1493, and now it's at 1492, I believe. So I've just got a few more to get to 1,500, and that's going to be a weird look for me. You know, that 1,500 mark is like going to be kind of cool, you know. Pam says it will kill snails, but slowly. You jerk bladder snails, die slowly, die slowly. Oddball Aquatic says, I'm on a break, got to get back to water changes soon. Well, that sounds like fun. Panicure C is shrimp safe. Used to treat hydra in shrimp tanks. 0.1 milligrams per 10 gallons. Thanks a lot, TM Aquatics. Andy 70V bus is in the house. Ahoy, V-dub bus, sorry. Ahoy, folks. What is up, Andy? Can't say 70V. It's got to be the V-dub. Okay. Let's see here. I'm caught back up there. Matthew Moore Cichlids is in the house. Just wanted to stop in and say hi. Got to hit up Jay right now. Sounds good. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Devin Pepper says, Jeffro, have you ever heard of Twin City Guppies, and what do you think of their guppies? I personally like their albino koi guppies and red lace and tuxedo spear tail, any of their Dumbo ear guppies. I have seen a lot of videos from King Lee up at Twin City Guppies, and I reached out to him earlier in the year, but he wasn't really ready for a fish room tour. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I need to make a trip up to Minnesota. Probably do it this winter. But I just need to reach back out to him and see what his schedule is like. He has been really busy. This was a busy summer for him, but from what I have seen, he has a lot of nice stuff. But I really need to get up there and do a fish room tour. Every time you shout, get down, I lie down in bed. Feel like a kid again. Good girl, honeybee. Good girl. That's a good girl. Oh. And Jeffro, do you have rabbit snails? And if not, do you ever plan on getting them? I have seen them before. They're nice. I just haven't had a reason to really pull the trigger on them or anything. But yeah, I like them. They're nice. They get huge. Here's a fun question. If legality was not a problem, what fish would you get? The red arowana. The red, I believe it's a red Asian arowana. And I would probably get one that has been a captively bred one, like those blood red ones, you know. Corey, whenever he went out to China, either the first time or the second time, I can't remember. They've really got to where, you know, the wild caught ones aren't as pretty as the captive bred ones. The red is just so deep. You get like a big 8-foot long tank and put some red arowana. They would be beast. That was my answer to the question earlier was what's your favorite fish, but I like to answer like what is technically that I could really have. You know, because I would love to have some leopard frog plecos. I'd like to have, gosh, what's that one? King Panock pleco or whatever it's called that has the hairy whiskers. I'd like to get one of those in a great big 200 plus gallon tank. You know, I would go pleco crazy if money was not an option. Melvin Aquatic Empire says, what size tank can combat cichlids and firemouth go in? I've never kept either one of those fish, but the firemouth, right off the top of my head, really isn't sticking out in my head what size they are, but the convex cichlids, I would say that you could probably go as low as, like, I mean, they're a smaller fish, so I would say you could probably go as low as a 20 gallon, and then you know, stock accordingly to that size of tank. Basically, whenever you're looking at fish, you know, you could put them all the way in a 10 gallon if it isn't like a fish that gets large. And the convex cichlids, I'm pretty sure don't get very big, but maybe I'm wrong on that too. I've never kept them, that's the hard part. But every time I've ever seen them in a pet store, they're pretty small. Susie Q Aquatics is in the house. What is up, Susie? I still call you Susie Q instead of just Q Aquatics. I'm sorry about that. I can't not do it. Sometimes. Sometimes. TM Aquatics says, Jeffro, if you come to Minnesota and don't stop by, I might have to hit the unsubscribe button. I will definitely stop by. For sure. What I always do whenever I'm going places like that, I try to talk about it before I go and stuff, get people excited about it. And then what I have found is I'm probably not the only YouTuber that goes live on Saturday nights in the fish keeping hobby, but there's not very many that does. I don't know of anybody that does. So I really feel like on my Saturday nights when I go and travel and stuff, I really need to have a live stream. You know, I've only missed one since January, and so it'd be kind of cool to maybe, if you've got decent internet, maybe we could go live from your place or something, you know. Like Turbofish really pulled me out of a jam the other night, because otherwise I was going to have to go live from my mobile phone somewhere. I was probably, if he wouldn't have set me up like he did, I was probably going to go to a hotel room, and I didn't have my laptop with me. I didn't have any of my streaming stuff. I just went from the hip that day. I should have brought my camera, because I could have really got some really good video. That Pleco Paradise place is nice. I mean, and I think they just got another shipment in yesterday. I've seen some pictures on Facebook, so I need to get back there in a few weeks is what I need to do. But because all my subscribers really like fish room tours as well, and I like to do them. I like to get out there and see all this stuff, and then you guys love to watch it, you know, because the views show. Let's see here. Candy Overall says, I have Twin City guppies. They are amazing. I remember that whenever they came, Stacy just happened to go back by the house, if I remember right. There was something to do with, you guys were going to Denver or something like that. Barbara Jackson is in the house. Good evening, everyone, and Jeffro. Well, good evening, Barbara. Nice to see you. Shelby Aquatic Grant is in the house. How about red-tailed catfish? Those are nice, too. I love all kinds of fish, but yeah, red-tailed catfish are nice. And it would be pretty nice to have some of those catfish like Bob has. There's some type of a, gosh, he called them baby orcas, so I can't get that on my head, but the black and white ones are so nice. Science Gal Aquatic says, want to try a larger Pleco and silver arowana tank. Think it might work? Probably. You know, Joey's arowanas, they do good with the stingrays, and they're a bottom-dwelling fish, and the arowana's mouth kind of is like this. So in order to bite something off the bottom, they would have to really invert real far. So, I mean, do your research on it, but to me, an arowana, the mouth, the way it's shaped, is like a top to mid water feeder. And yeah, I would think that it would be good. And you know, you get a large pleco and they can handle their own. Let's see here. Looking dapper, Jeffro. How do you get your beard to grow so fast? Mine still hasn't grown in 43 years. I did notice the other day, I was looking on one of my video clips from a while back, and whenever I made my shaving mess up and I shaved it back, it has grown back rather quick. And I don't really know. I groom it really well every day. I use coconut oil. It's like it looks like a Vaseline, but it just keeps it soft. And then I only use soap on my beard once a week because that strips out your natural oils. So every day I rinse it thoroughly, but it doesn't strip off the natural oils. Somebody said, what up, Jeffro? Derek Runyon is in the house. What up, Jeffro? What up, Derek Runyon? Nice to see you, buddy. Nice to see you. The Detroit Tigers. Awesome. I was a big Detroit Tigers fan growing up. Bam Aquatic says, hey, Rack, how are you tonight? Valley Fish says, Jeffro, thoughts on mixing long and short fin plecos? Well, it just happened for me. So, okay. So if you remember back to the video that I did, it's probably been a couple months ago now. It was called 48-hour spawning pleco challenge or something like that. Basically, the male was a short fin albino. He's really lemon color, you know, beautiful. It's my son's, and I've got two short fin albinos in here that are really a white, and then I've got one long fin that's a real white. The two short fins are more lemon than she is, but the clutch was like 200 eggs, man. I mean, it was huge, and it happened twice. 2 months in a row I did it, and I just never had seen a clutch that big before in bristlenose, and it kind of made me wonder, did both of the females get in there? And well, both of the females were getting in there, but I couldn't confirm if one of the females had dropped the eggs in the cave or both of the females had deposited. So I had to wait until they got long enough to really be able to tell. But there is a mixture of long fin albinos in here and short fin. I don't know how they're going to turn out. They probably won't be straight line, you know, because short fins would be. The short fins would be a straight line, but the long fin ones in here, the mom is a long fin and the dad is a short fin. So I'll bet you they wouldn't be a straight line. But only time would tell on that. I would have to save some males out of there and breed them with my female, you know. But the short fins would be a straight line because the dad was a short fin and the mom was a short fin. So all the short fin ones up there would be straight line, if that makes sense. Punchy says, dang it, I got up to get coffee and I didn't get coffee. I Jeff wrote that one up for sure. You sure did, Pam. I barely can remember my name. Yeah, Derek Runyon's just out here lurking. He's a professional lurker, guys. I appreciate you stepping up to the plate and comment on this stream, though, man. Kind of funny. Oh, man, I didn't even realize we're over an hour. All right, we'll go to an hour and a half. Wow, I did not realize at all. To me, it felt like we've been going live for about 20 minutes or so. I look up there and it's like, holy cow. Did not notice that whatsoever. I did notice that we got up to 60, and that's pretty good for a Thursday night. Last Thursday night, I think what happened is a lot of people just didn't know that I had changed nights. It is kind of hard to keep up. And I haven't done very good at Instagram here lately either. And today I put an Instagram post up, so I think that did help. I need to get back to Instagram more often. I was doing one a day, and that was going good for a long time. And then I just stopped all of a sudden out of the blue. And I put up one the other day of these guys up here feeding, and that was just crazy. There's just a ton of them. But we are at the bottom of the chat. David Ulrich says, Jeff, do you have any saltwater tanks? I do not. I probably, I don't see doing them in the future. I love them. I don't know. I'm just so heavy into the freshwater. It'd be really hard for me to start. I'll tell you, somebody that's in the chat that I would have help me do it is Mike from MHow9. I just found out this weekend, and I didn't even really know it. He's like a wizard at saltwater stuff. But yeah, like I love saltwater. I just don't see doing it in the future, but I don't have any right now. And it's not that I don't like it. I don't even really know what it is. I think it's I'm a chicken. You know what I mean? Like, to me it seems more complex, like harder to get things right. You know, and most of my stuff is pretty simple to get it going. All right. Tampa Tom says, I'm still here driving. Well, you got a long trip home tonight then. Let's see here. There was one day this week I drove like 7 hours. Actually, the last 4 Mondays in a row, I've had 7-hour driving days. And you know, this Monday I drove 7 hours, and it really upset me because this weekend I did a lot of driving. You know, I drove out to the Chicago area and back. And then Monday took off and had 7 hours of driving. And the appointment that me and the therapist and the mom had at this school with a manufacturer, the manufacturer didn't show up to it. And I drove 3.5 hours to get there. And the mom took off from work and the manufacturer didn't show up. And I called him up and he felt really bad about it. And I didn't lay into him really bad. I should have, because it's like, it's for a $40,000 power wheelchair. You would think that he would be needing to sell it. I mean, because the first thing the therapist said was, do you have another manufacturer that we can go with? And I said, yeah. And I went to that manufacturer, but we couldn't do that one through insurance because they didn't have billing code for it. So it's like, she was wanting to know his boss's name and everything. She was mad. Honeybee says, lots of good info, Jeffro, as always, and a great sense of humor, too. Unfortunately, need to get up for work in 3 hours. Oh my gosh. So need to say bye all. Keep well, my fishy friends. Well, thanks a lot, Honeybee, and I appreciate you spending so much time with us here tonight, and hopefully you get a good night's sleep. We'll see you Saturday night at 7. David Ulrich says, I think they're cool, but I'm with you, scared. They're so expensive if they crash. Yeah, it's kind of like when you get into some of those, you know, like, I've heard different stories about this, but, you know, discus, I've never kept them before, but they say discus, you know, the water's got to be spot on, yada, yada, yada. There's some fish that just do better with RO. You know, like these crystal shrimp, I thought forever that they were just RO, but I'm keeping them on tap water right now. I have had some loss that I can't really pinpoint, but I haven't had any loss in probably 2 weeks, so that's good. But yeah, it's just one of those type of deals where saltwater to me seems really, really complex. I'm happy in my own little orb that I'm in, you know, like live bears and plecos and shrimp, oh my, type of thing, you know. Ken Amy says, I don't think I can make it another half hour heading to bed. Have a good night, everyone. Well, thanks for coming along, Ken. We're probably only going to go about 11 more minutes, though, because in 11 more minutes, it'll be 9:30, and then I'll go ahead and stop the stream there. I just don't like to stop it at, like, like right now we're at 1 hour and 20 minutes of streaming. I don't want to stop there. So, but have a good night, Ken. Thanks for coming tonight. Boy, there went the chat. Guppy Puppy says, gotta run too. Good night, everyone. Good night, Guppy Puppies. Thanks for coming tonight. We're at the bottom of the chat. We got 52 still here. Good grief. It's been a good little stream, guys. Plenty of questions. That was nice. Let's see here. Ouch. Derek Runyon says, you got to just read up on it and jump in the saltwater game. Yeah, I know. That's all you can do. I guess a person could. It's not a very smart thing to do. But a person could start a small one. But then that's not a very smart thing to do too. Because smaller water volume, you can make bigger mistakes quicker. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah. Alright. The chat is getting ready to bust. Terry's Tropical Tank says saltwater isn't more complex, just a lot less tolerant of mistakes. That is very correct. I can be pretty lazy with my stuff. Actually, I can see my fish starting to act a little bit different, and I can be like, something's going on here, and I can fix it really easily. Saltwater is going to crash, is what he's saying. Priscilla MK Art says, I'm at work and you're still sitting there. LOL. Hello, Priscilla. Nice to see ya. Deacon's Fish Tank says, what is the minimum tank size for an Oscar? Oh, good grief. They need to have a real large tank. Like, I haven't kept one in a long time, but the last time I kept one, I had a 125-gallon tank. And I think that would have been pretty sufficient for it, but at the same time, you know, I've heard people talk before when you get into those big fish like that. I've heard people say, you know, we're never going to be able to completely make them happy. You know, you want your fish to thrive. No matter what species of fish you get, you want them to thrive. So if you got a 55-gallon, that's going to work for an Oscar for a long time, but are they going to thrive? Is he going to be happy? I think not. You know, I think you got to be up there 100 gallons or more. Frankie Foundation says you should do a Jeffroz fish tour. I haven't done one in months. It's been probably, gosh, it would have been around May or June. May, probably May. I haven't done one in a while. I probably should, yeah. That really makes me want to make sure and find a good spot for the rack that I'm going to set up this weekend, because I still don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't want to put it in the basement because it'll be down there by itself, and this winter it's going to get really cold in my basement and I don't have it set up for that yet. So I got to put it on the ground floor somewhere. I don't know where. Today I was sitting there thinking on my lunch break, I was like, you know, I could put it right over here next to this 55-gallon, you know, just get it to where it's like during my stream I'm having to set kind of crooked here or something, you know. No, it's not going to be able to go in here at all. The only way it could go in here is if I get rid of my bed, and I don't want to get rid of my bed, guys. I need to have a bed to sleep on. Keith Boardley says stocking. Whoa, where did it go? Where in the heck did that go? Wow. It's gone. Keith Boardley. Where did it go? Doing water changes on guppy tanks tonight. Okay. Stocking ideas for a 40-gallon breeder planted with lots of flow. And you don't have any fish in there at all, is what I'm assuming. Stocking ideas for a 40-gallon planted too. Like you could stock it with a ton of black neon tetras. Like, you could put a ton of those bad boys in there. I like that fish, actually. The black neon tetra looks so cool in the light and with planted aquarium. What else could you have with those? Like, you could put some Corys in there. High flow, though. Are you talking like hang on the back type flow, or you've actually got a wave maker? Because you could always take the wave maker off if it was too much flow for the black neons. Saltwater depends on what you do. Made approximately 1 million tacos in the time Jeff was streaming. Andy, okay. I would say a 75 is what I've heard. What do you think about clown plecos? Clown plecos are nice. Shelby, they're very nice. They stay real small. They don't get very big at all, like 3 inches top, somewhere around in there. But they hide a lot. They are really, 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 really nocturnal. But they're cute little boogers. But then you would have to do 2-day water changes. Okay, we'll look into them. Ooh. Okay, I had an Oscar in a 75-gallon tank, and I think it was fine. He was so lazy, he hardly used most of it. Yeah, I've never really kept a 75, but a 75, it's, what, 4.5 foot long? It's the same as the 55. Like, what is that, 48 inch? I can't remember, but maybe they're 5 foot. They're not 5 foot, are they? They're like 4 foot. Yeah, so they're probably like 4 foot long. 75 is a 4 foot long, I think, and then deep. So 75 might not be too bad because the depth is good. Shelby Ray Lane is in the house. What is up, Shelby Ray? Okay, the gesso is dry. Have to finish my art project. It's been good lurking and listening. Y'all have a great night and be safe. Well, thanks for piping up at the end, Shelby Ray. Nice to see ya. Oh, Devin, that's a great idea. Devin Peppers brings up a good idea, because if Barbara Jackson's still in here, she's got one, I'm pretty positive, on her kitchen counter. Turbofish that was in here earlier, he's got like 4 on his kitchen counter. I do have capabilities of putting one in my kitchen. I might do that. Maybe. Great point, Devin. Pam says have Komodo rasboras, glow, light Daniels, Farrellwilla catfish, and dwarf anchor cats, and lots of shrimp. I was going to ask you on Dan's stream last night what kind of plants you had, Punchy. Let's see here. All right. I should be editing, can't leave. Yeah, we're almost done. We got about another minute and a half here, and I'm going to get off of here. 40-gallon breeder planted. I would put 40 glow light Danios in there. Danios are nice too. That is a great idea, Terry. I love Danios. There's one that Rachel O'Leary's got right now. She called hers orange fin leopard frog Danios, or orange fin Danios, and the name meant leopard. And I've got some long fin leopard Danios. Well, they're my sons, but we spawned them and got some babies out of them, and they've got some red on them too. And all of the Danios species, I love them. I even like my zebra Danios, actually. When they grow out, they're really pretty. They throw off some pretty colors. But the glow light Danios, that's a great idea, Terry. White cloud minnows is another great one. Science Gal says, I have a clown pleco and I didn't even know he was still in there for most of the year. They hide very well. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Alright, we're at the bottom of the chat. I am going to go over really quick and promote tomorrow morning's video real fast if I can find it. Jeffroz FishKeeping. See if we can find Jeffroz FishKeeping YouTube channel. And hopefully you guys don't buffer out here. Boy, this thing's slow tonight. Alright. We're here. Look at that stud. Whatevs. Alright. Too many buttons to have to push. Alright. Today is the 8th. So tomorrow, I already pushed this button, but we'll have to push it again evidently. Tomorrow is the 9th. 11/9 is my worst day in the fish room ever. So, you guys that are new to my channel, haven't heard that story before, make sure and check that video out. It'll be out at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. Other than that, we will see you guys right back here Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Saturday Night Live Hangout stream. And look forward to seeing you there. And other than that, have a great rest of the weekend. And peace out, y'all. Thanks for all the great questions tonight, peeps. See you later. Bye, Dozer. Say bye. He's got his tongue out. Peace out, y'all.